story. That's our business this morning. And of course, on that note, to say a very good morning to you, great people. Thank you so much for tuning into the Integrity Station Splash 105.5 FM. This morning, as usual, we're broadcasting live from the city of Ibadan, capital of Oyo State, Nigeria. Today is the 22nd day in the month of September, year 2021. A great time to be here again. Midweek edition of SportsBang coming your way. Quick one, let me say good morning, to those on our Facebook fan page, dropping in one after the other. Splash 105.5 FM is the ID. Splash 105.5 FM to catch the opportunity to view, listen, and of course enjoy the best bits that will be coming through this morning. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. SportsBang Wednesday edition. Well, got Blessing Forway and Ferromi Adeboyega together. We'll be running the show from now till 8 o'clock. Be part of this. Maybe, just maybe, if time permits, sometime, somewhere along the line, we'll open the phone lines, so that you can join and let share our thoughts. I remember yesterday we were on this show together talking about the ABC, that's the Aisha Buhari Cup. It was going to be the Super Falcons of Nigeria and the Banyana. Blessing was hoping I would forget. Blessing, do you need me to cut out, your assertions about South Africa not being our rivals?
Sunday,
who does that to you?
South Africa.
Come to your home ground. And
I'll
then
flog you.
First time it was 3-0.
Trash you, that's the word.
When the second one came in the second hour, okay, the comeback was on, but which comeback are we talking about? Let me say good morning first. I don't think Blessing
deserves it. I'll defend myself now.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you today. Good morning, Blessing. Good morning to a wonderful listener. Truth be told, I didn't see that coming, to be realistic. But then if you actually...
You guys don't see the kind of things I see coming.
Today, you didn't predict. You only said
but I was
we're not rivals.
About... No,
you only said that, are we still rivals? You only asked the question. It's not as if you actually predicted.
I said we were rivals.
Okay, you said you were rivals. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't predict. So, what are we talking about here?
So
don't take unnecessary glory. But the thing is, I think those ladies talking about Bayana, if you have actually followed them, this particular competition, they've actually been good. They've been quite very solid and cohesive. But I still did not see the fact that, they were actually going to defeat the Super Falcons in the final. And that boils down to the fact that probably South Africa have something up their sleeves. They've actually developed their game over the years. I mean, we saw what they did in the Cup of Nations, just the concluded one. They got to the final as well. It took something extra for us to be able to actually defeat them in that particular one. It still doesn't mean that we are rivals. The fact that they actually defeated us in a competition that is not, CAF organized, that is not FIFA organized, I don't think, that should actually make us rivals with them, with the fact that we actually lost to them. So I think
that was a prestigious, friendly tournament.
Yeah, I like the word prestigious.
We hosted.
Not a bit.
In honor of the First Lady of Nigeria.
Which is a good one. It still doesn't make it a CAF or FIFA organized competition, does it? No, it doesn't. So,
must it be CAF or FIFA organized before it matters?
I think it has to. It has to, because when it really matters, were they able to actually defeat us?
Ferromi, you're saying the same thing again. They were still not rivals.
We are still not rivals.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Can take our good morning from
Good morning to you today. Good morning to Ferromi and the entire city of Ibadan. Well, Ferromi, first off, it doesn't have to be a competitive game before you talk about maybe giving props to South Africa for their victory.
Which I just did.
It doesn't have to be a competitive game. But Tunde, I have a question for you.
For me?
Yes. In the build-up to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, in basketball, Nigeria defeated USA on home soil. Is Nigeria rival to the United States of America?
Thank you.
I didn't make my assertion based on just one game, one isolated game.
Yes.
I was talking about what they had been doing.
What is the
Remember,
head-to-head?
I didn't just mention South Africa. I said Cameroon, Ghana, Equatorial Guinea,
but South Africa
you were looking at it based purely on pedigree in terms of what you've done on the continent.
South Africa, you mentioned South Africa as being the rival yesterday. I
said one of our rivals.
You talked about one of our rivals, and I was telling you that because they get to win a game against Nigeria does not make them a rival. What is the head-to-head record with South Africa? Super Falcons and South Africa, the head-to-head record is there.
Somebody was your rival 5 years ago. Doesn't mean that person cannot be a rival today.
Indeed. Indeed, it doesn't mean, but I'm saying right now with the record on ground, you cannot call South Africa rivals to Nigeria. I just mentioned basketball, for instance. The United States of America, we tend to meet them at almost every Olympic Games, and we are whitewashed. I remember vividly 2012. Look at before the Olympics, I talked about it. We defeated them. Does that make us rivals to them?
Maybe the question is,
But
what
that's
exactly
aside.
make two teams rivals?
What
Maybe I
defines
do that.
rivalry?
When
Exactly.
they constantly give you a run for your money.
But they do not win.
Constantly.
Only once in a while.
Hear the
What are
word.
you talking about?
Constantly. Constantly.
Bless you. You know what?
Constantly, maybe
Be
this
there-
year
be there
and
enjoying-
2018.
But the truth is-
but
but
speaking
it-
of the
yeah,
performance
yeah.
of the Bayana South Africa,
Yeah.
that is a team in progress. Look
Yeah.
at, they kept the crop of the team that
They were dominant against us.
Yes,
Very dominant.
and they kept
Yeah,
the
they
crop of
didn't
the
just
team that
win.
played in the finals of the 2018 African Women's Cup of Nations. Jenny Rafilo was there, Linda Motlalo, Jenny Van Wyk, you know,
Katlana
all
was
of
there.
Katlana as
Yeah.
well, the keeper Swart, all of those players, they are key strengths. And guess what? They kept their coach as well. We have done what? We have changed our coach twice.
Don't worry. We'll revisit this Super Falcons matter somewhere down the line. I mean, I like when people say, this is what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then in a year, 2, 3 years later,
can see it.
you can owe them to it. Whether South Africa has done that or not, we'll tell this morning. Quick one from the world of boxing. Or maybe we should, let's do some kind of throwback. Okay? Yes. You know, we'll revisit what happened yesterday. In 2018, it was the Super Falcons of Nigeria against the Bayana of South Africa
In the
and
final.
the African Women Cup of Nations final.
Final,
This
yeah.
is the team that you guys say, I mean, they've not been our rivals.
Yeah.
But 3 years ago, when the finals were
there.
together, okay, with this same coach, Desiree Ellis,
Yes.
and of course, we managed, a narrow victory against that team. We managed a narrow victory. I remember Blessing was at that Cup of Nations, it was in Ghana. And then after that victory, for you to know that they meant business that
Business
time,
then, yeah.
and they still in business. We're going to take a listen to this one. This was in 2018. Where are we now? 2021. I remember it was Muhammad Ali, the greatest. I said I was the greatest even before I knew I was. Let's listen to this.
Janine Anthony, BBC. So I have two questions for Coach Desiree and Coach Thomas. Coach Desiree, 2016 losing against Nigeria, 2018 losing to Nigeria. 2020, how close are you personally as a milestone for you to overcoming Africa's powerhouses?
We showed in this tournament that we're really, really close, but it's about small margins. It's about when you get opportunities to take up opportunities, it's about minimizing your errors. So I feel we're really, really close. In 2016 we were close, but this year we were much, much closer. So we have a little bit of work to do, but we're proud of our performance.
Okay. 2016, they were close. 2018, they got closer. And 2021, yes, this is not in Ferromis world, a CAF or FIFA organized tournament, whatever that means. But then again, are they still close?
I think they
They are there.
I think they're getting closer now at this point in time.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't say
They
they're
are still
there.
getting
No.
closer?
The truth is, let's
The great powerhouse of African football,
I'm not taking
the
any-
Super Falcons of
Yeah,
Nigeria,
yeah.
completely dominated in front of their own fans.
Fantastic performance.
That's a massive statement.
Fact. I totally agree with you, but we
But
can't
still,
we
they are
can't
still not there.
Tunde,
so
they are not
we
there
can't
yet.
still base that.
They are knocking on the
We can't
door.
say they are there
They are
because of
knocking on
that
the door.
performance.
Yes,
I
just
think the door is
yesterday.
wide open.
Have they won the African Women's Cup of
I
Nations?
mean, that is it. When it really matters,
But you
will
see,
they be able to
they are
do
making
that?
progress, and you
They are
could
making
see the
progress,
progress
definitely.
in their outing at the Olympics. You could see the progress. Maybe they didn't do well at the World Cup per se, but you could see the progress. The mandate for Desiree Ellis at 2018 was to qualify for the World Cup, and she did by finishing second behind Nigeria at the African Women's Cup of Nations. They are making progress. They made it to the Olympics as well. Nigeria made it to the Olympics? No.
No, yeah.
So until they get to win the African Women's Cup of Nations, then you can maybe talk about, okay, they have arrived. So they are knocking on the door.
Let's talk about the game yesterday. 2 penalties and an own goal by defender Michel Alaze conspired to end South Africa's Bayana victory over the Super Falcons in the final match of the maiden edition of Aisha Buhari Invitational Tournament at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos, on Tuesday. The incidences of penalties and own goals should take nothing away from the efficiency of the Bayana team, beaten to the African title by the Falcons only after penalty shootout in Accra 2018. As a measure of the outright domination of their 2018 conquerors, the efficacious Tempe Gatlana was not even among the goals. She worked out on the wings and everywhere else, taunting the Nigerian rear guard, but Linda Motalo, Gabriela Salgado, and Mamelo Mkabani were the scorers after Aloysius clanger. Well, victory meant South Africa emerged the best team of the tournament, and a statement was made that Nigeria should henceforth put her faith in the hands of young and glory on great players who still have much to look forward to. One of the things I saw was a Nigerian team that was not in sync.
Not cohesive.
You know, I mean, we had Desire Paranozie, you know, one of the most accomplished. We had, you know, Asizo Tushuala.
Yes.
But I didn't see, I mean,
the synergy.
Onomebi was in the team.
Yes, in the defense.
With all of our experience and everything.
Chukwelu was there. Ngozi
It
Okobi
didn't
came off the
count.
bench. It didn't count at all. And you could see that there was the disconnect between Desire Paranozie and Aziza Toshola up front. And then the midfield.
They've got beef. I mean, that's the feeling
Is there
that
a
you have.
there's no beef.
Remember the story around captaincy?
At the moment,
think that is very
yes, that's
Yeah.
been squashed.
Yeah.
There's no beef between those ladies. And if I know Oparanozie for one thing, she has put those things behind her. But I wondered why Oparanozie started that game. From the first game, she had the deep cut on her forehead. I expected that she wouldn't be starting. And
Maybe she told the
and then
manager it was good enough.
And then the coach, seeing that she wasn't putting so much shift, he should have substituted her as well. But the major problem I saw with that team was the struggle to pass balls, struggle to string passes, and then allowing Linda Motlalo take hold of the midfield. That's the number 10 shirt for South Africa. They were struggling to make passes, and then at some point they resorted to long balls that wasn't doing anything entirely.
You know, just like Barcelona did on Monday. But the
I mean,
truth
truth be told,
yeah.
I'm actually pained by, you know, the results yesterday. Not just the results, but the performance.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for once I sat down thinking that 10, 12, 15, 20 years ago, put Nigeria and South Africa, the Super Falcons of Nigeria and South Africa, you know, together in any, whether it's a tournament, whether it's CAF, FIFA, friendly, at home, even anywhere else,
Would have
we
beaten
should be
them
seeing
as
something
a-
like 5-0, 6-0.
Definitely. I agree with you totally.
I mean, 3-0 it was half time against Nigeria.
Totally out.
It's really disappointing today, I must say.
Okay, well, we have to move on. From the world of boxing, British boxer of Nigerian descent Lawrence Okoli says is confident of getting a knockout victory in his WBO cruiserweight title fight against unbeaten challenger Delan Prasovic at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London on Saturday. The fight will be Okoli's first defense of his WBO cruiserweight title after beating Christoph Gluacki to the vacant crown in March. Lawrence will be hoping to earn his 7th consecutive knockout victory against Prasovic, who will be fighting in England for the first time in his professional career. The bout is one of the undercard fights in the Anthony Joshua versus unbeaten Alexander Usyk world title bout. In a Zoom press conference by DSZN, Okoli says he's not bothered about his opponent's flawless record as he's ready to end the fight before he gets to the 12th round. And on to athletics. Following the successful completion of its inaugural Olympic trials in Lagos on Saturday, the Bobsled and Skeleton Federation of Nigeria has stated that 10 athletes will represent Nigeria at the Beijing 2020 Winter Olympic Games. Technical Director BSFN Dr. Shewan Adigun disclosed this in Lagos. President of BSFN Solomon Ogba said that the team would train on ice in Europe. I was going to say Nigeria. Out of the Winter Games. History was made earlier in the year when 6 athletes who were selected from the first ever trials in Lagos trained and participated on ice for the first time in Pyeongchang. Now, there is a new man in town for Remo Stars. I mean, I remember at the NNL Super 8 playoff, Remo Stars gave Shooting Stars a big fight. And, you know, they managed not to be defeated by shooting to help take the club to the next level. Ogumbota was unveiled as the coach of the newly promoted MPFL club side, Remo Stars, on Tuesday. Speaking after his unveiling, he expressed his joy at getting the Remo job. I quote, "I'm very proud and happy to have joined Remo Stars. I hope to help the team to the level at which the club wants to attain, I suppose, meant to say. We have an ambition this season. Before now, the club has decided to maintain their stay in the NPFL, which is my desire too, but I will be so grateful if we can win the league will probably get a slot in any of the CAF competitions. He joined the Ijebu-Ode-based side after resigning from Sunshine Stars back in May. You're welcome on board, Benga Gobote, to Remo Stars.
I'd like to add one more name for him. We call him the Oracle. Maybe you should also add the journeyman too, because this man has traveled far and wide in Nigeria.
And they all journeymen.
Yeah, they all are journeymen. But I look at Bingo Gumbote, you could almost, I remember him from Sharks, back in Sharks to Giwa FC.
Before Sharks, I think it started with Gateway. And then with Sunshine Stars. And then Shooting Stars, and then to Sharks.
Sharks.
Giwa United.
Giwa FC, you know, a lot.
Enugu
They are all
Rangers.
Enugu Rangers as well. But, you know, still in search of his first, MPFL title. Can he get that with Remo Stars? I do not know.
Maybe
Maybe
won the FA Cup, you didn't mention it.
Yeah, they won the FA Cup, but still in search of his first MPFL title. I think Kennedy Boboy already won one already.
Yeah.
Or he won or two.
I think Kennedy won with K2 and then now with
he has won 2 titles. So, of course, I remember when we spoke with him last year and he was talking about, that's still one thing that, he's trying to scratch to get. But with Remo Stars, we didn't get it. I think
Kennedy Boboye is a defensive coach.
defenses win championships, they say.
So where are you getting
defenses
to
win
now? I don't know.
championships.
What do you mean by that?
They say defenses win championships.
Why do you bring that into the discussion now?
That is the saying.
I'm just
So it doesn't matter what you play, you just have to get a result.
But you see, for the neutrals, we want to go there and enjoy games.
So you rather
want to
enjoy
play
games
pretty
and
not
lose
win
out,
titles.
an
A
important
situation where
titles?
you score 1 goal in the 25th minute, and from that moment, you're packing the bus, your players are feigning injury, your goalkeeper is falling down.
The end justifies.
taking
Thank you. I was just
well,
about to say that. The end
end
justifies the means.
justifies
What
the
happens at the
means.
end of the season? Do you win a title or not?
Play pretty,
Sports
don't win titles.
It's meant to entertain us as well.
Or do not play pretty and win titles.
Okay, well, quickly, let's move on. Europe's Golden Shoe winner, Robert Lewandowski, sent out a warning to the fans around Europe on Tuesday when he likened himself to a good wine that was still improving. You know what they say about good wines? They get even better.
With age.
For me, that's the best player in the world right now, and I'll be so pissed if he doesn't get the Ballon d'Or somewhere along the line. Riyad Mahrez scored twice as old as Man City came from behind to trash Ligue 1 Wycombe and reach the last 16 of the Carabao Cup. We'll take a quick break. For the BBC Premier League update, Luis Suarez scored 2 late goals as La Liga champions Atletico Madrid came from behind to beat neighbors Getafe, and they're back on top of the table.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Andy Bowell at the BBC Sports Centre. A number of Premier League teams have been looking to make progress in this season's English Football League Cup. Manchester City are the holders. Pep Guardiola gave senior debuts to 5 players in a game at home to third-tier side Wycombe Wanderers. City conceded early on but found few problems in the end with a 6-1 success, including a first goal for the club from 19-year-old substitute Cole Palmer.
Over the moon. Tell you what, that was the best feeling I've had, to be honest. All up there anyway. Yeah, just delighted when it went in. And obviously got to thank the fans and the manager for putting his trust in me.
Brentford beat fourth-tier Oldham 7-0, including a first-half hat-trick for Marcus Fors. Burnley defeated Rochdale 4-1, and in an all-top-flight clash, Takumi Minamino scored twice in Liverpool's 3-0 success away at Norwich. Leeds United were 6-5 winners on spot kicks at the Championship side Fulham. Southampton came out on top on penalties 4-2 against Sheffield United. But 2 top-flight teams did lose to lower league opponents. Watford went down 3-1 to second-tier Stoke City. Everton drew 2-2 at Queen's Park Rangers, but Rafa Benitez's side lost 8-7 on penalties. There are more matches in the League Cup on Wednesday, including Chelsea at home to Aston Villa. Chelsea defender Marcos Alonso is no longer taking a knee before matches this season, believing that the anti-racism gesture is losing a bit of strength. Instead, he opts to stand and point to the No Room for Racism badge on his sleeve. Boss Thomas Tuchel understands why Alonso is taking the approach.
Maybe it takes sometimes also action against a routine to wake up again and to have another good discussion. And the discussion is can only be in one direction, because we always, all of us have the same point. We want to do the most against racism and stand up against it.
And for more football news on the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update.
Okay, that was the BBC Premier League update. What? You either live in peace or you get kicked out. Let's take one.
Let's do that in peace. On our Facebook live stream, Olamidipupo Akinpelu says, our preparation for the tournament is very poor. We are still staying on past glory. I agree.
The next African Women Cup of Nations is next year?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what happens. Farron Adigbega, thank you.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Blessing forward.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks to Boss Club, thanks to Goke, thanks to Ewa from the Digital Media team. Do have a fantastic Wednesday. 4 o'clock later today, it will be time for Just Football. 1 whole hour discussing the round leather game of soccer. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. Bye-bye.